Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. To check. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namde. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita session. Today is April 28th, 2026. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, Chapter 9, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's travels to the holy places in South India. So now Mahaprabhu is in Udupi and is in the midst of a discussion with the leader of the TATTVAVADI philosophers. And the TATTVAVADI philosopher leader had said that the best sadhana is doing karma, varnashrama dharma, and offering that to Krishna. And the goal achieved by that, the highest goal, is 5 types of liberation. So Mahaprabhu refuted that, saying that Shastras say that Shravanam, Kirtanam, and the other limbs of bhakti are the best sadhana. Saying this, Mahaprabhu quoted from Shastra, Prahlad Maharaj's statement, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. That Prahlad Maharaj is saying that in my opinion, this is the best sadhana. And the next statement that Mahaprabhu said is, by this sadhana one gets Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema is the ultimate goal. It is Panchama Purushartha. This is the limit of all Purushartha. There is no other Purushartha beyond attaining Krishna Prema. And then Mahaprabhu once again quoted from Shastra that from Uddhav Gita, from 11th canto, the symptoms of one who has Prema. That verse was quoted. After this, so just see the sequence of discussion. So Mahaprabhu first said that what is the best sadhana and quoted Shravanam Kirtanam. Then he said what is the best goal, Krishna Prema. And then again quoted a shloka for Uttama Bhakta's characteristics. After that, Mahaprabhu said karma is condemned in Shastra and karma is to be given up. To prove that, Mahaprabhu quoted 3 verses, not 1. Also, this is also from 11th canto, establishing the characteristics of a pure devotee, a first-class person. So, yes, occupational duties help, but the best is one who understands the glory of bhakti then he gives up, he surrenders to the lotus feet of Krishna and gives up all other varnashrama dharmas. That's what this verse is saying. The verse that is quoted by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu to prove that karma is to be given up. Shastra is saying karma is to be given up and karma is condemned. Then again, another verse from Bhagavad Gita, sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja was quoted. But then there's a question. So if karma is to be given up, why did Shastra even give us karma? You may get that question. So that's why the important thing is the qualification. Who is qualified to do karma? Who is qualified to give up karma? So therefore, karma should be given up, sarva dharman parityaja. But then who should give it up? Or at what stage can one give it up? That is said in another verse, tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata. So that verse is also quoted by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu saying that one should do his karma until he gets antakarna shuddhi, or you can say nirvinnata. Nirvinnata means detachment to go into jnana marga. Or one should get dridha shraddha in my Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. in Krishna Katha. Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. of Krishna Katha. One should get dridha shraddha. Then he can give up. Until that time, you should do karma. After that, you should not do karma. You should give up. Okay. Then after saying this, so what were the 3 steps? First one is, what is the best sadhana? Shravanam Kirtanam. Next one is, what is the highest goal? Krishna Prema is the highest goal. And you get this goal by Shravanam Kirtanam. Third point is, karma is condemned, karma is to be given up. Next, after this, Mahaprabhu is saying, because you said these 5 types of liberation are the highest goal, but devotees give up these 5 types of liberation also. For them, this mukti is seen as good as going to hell. For devotees, they give up 5 types of liberation. That means if there is no seva, then such mukti appears to be hellish. Devotees see mukti as insignificant. That is one of the characteristics of pure devotional service. When one comes to bhava bhakti, the 6 characteristic features of pure devotional service are klesh agni, shubhada, sudurlabha, moksha laghutakrit, sandrananda visheshatma, Sri Krishna akarshani. These are the 6 characteristic features. Of these 6, first 2, klesh agni and shubhada, are manifested in sadhana bhakti. So klesh agni means all kleshas like avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, all these things go away. In sadhana bhakti stage itself, all your pain, sufferings, they are coming from avidya only. From avidya you get ahankara, from ahankara you suffer pains and pleasures, dualities come. Because of dualities, then there is suffering. You think this is good and this is bad. When you get bad, then you suffer. When you get good, then you are happy. So pains and pleasures are coming from where? They're coming because of dualities. And dualities are coming because of identifying with this body. And why I am identifying with this body? Because of ahankara. And ahankara is given why? Because I am covered by avidya. So avidya is the root cause. And by doing sadhana bhakti, this avidya goes away. That's why characteristic feature of sadhana bhakti. Of course, remember, sadhana bhakti means shuddha sadhana bhakti. After dridha shraddha. Before that also we are doing some, but that's not really shuddha sadhana bhakti. When we do shuddha sadhana bhakti, then avidya, everything goes away. That's one, klesh agni. And second one is shubhada. Shubhada, shubha. All auspicious qualities you get. Everything auspicious you get because of sadhana bhakti. So auspiciousness means everything, that means you get qualities like demigods, all 26 qualities of devotees, right? You get those qualities by dint of sadhana bhakti. By doing sadhana bhakti, you get all good qualities. Not only that, you will love everyone. These are the, under Shubhada, these headings, side headings are there. So Shubhada means what? You get all the qualities of the demigods. Then you will love everyone, the whole world, because you are now seeing the creator in creation. So when you see somebody, you don't see in relation to body, this is good and this is bad. Rather, you see everyone as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So you love the whole world. So that's second quality. And the third one is everyone loves you. You become dear to everybody. Dhira, dhira, janapriya karo. They are dear. These devotees are dear to both dhira and adhira. Everyone, good, bad, everybody likes a devotee like that. So that's this is Shubhada. So this Kleshagni and Shubhada are the characteristic features of sadhana bhakti. And then when you go to bhava bhakti, these qualities are there already. In addition to that, you get two more. So it is characterized by 4 features. Sadhana bhakti is characterized by 2 features, Kleshagni, Shubhada. When you go to bhava bhakti, 2 more are added, Moksha, Laghutakrit and Sudurlabha. Sudurlabha means this is very rarely obtained. Just imagine, even to find a devotee who got Dridha Shraddha is rare. How many do you see who actually satisfy all the conditions of pure devotional service? Hardly any. It's extremely rare. It's not that there aren't any, but it's rare, very, very rare. Yeah. All 3 conditions should be satisfied. Maybe sometimes you'll find 1 quality, but all 3 should be there. Anyabhilashita shunyam. That means doing devotional service only for the satisfaction of Krishna with no desire whatsoever for liberation or for any material result. And then anukulyena Krishnanushīlanam. Constantly endeavoring to render direct devotional service to Krishna. And then jnana karmadhyanavritam. And that devotional service, direct devotional service, is not interrupted by karma, jnana, etc. That means you're doing shravanam kirtanam continuously. This is Dridha Shraddha. So Dridha Shraddha is so rare. Then crossing all the stages of sadhana bhakti, sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti, nishtha, ruchi, asakti, then you get bhava. Bhava means now you're actually awarded your swarupa, body made of swarupa shakti. So how rare is that? That is why it is said, one of the characteristic feature of bhava bhakti is it is sudurlabha. Sudurlabha, extremely rare to come to that stage. That's the very characteristic feature of bhava bhakti, sudurlabha. And the second quality is moksha laghutakrit. Moksha means liberation. Laghu means small, insignificant. To a person who is in bhava bhakti, moksha seems to be insignificant. They don't care for it. Moksha laghutakrit. So that is why here it is said about devotees, 5 types of liberation, they give up. That means they don't aspire for that. Not only do they not aspire, even if offered, they reject it, seeing it as hellish. If there is no devotional service there. But if you are offering devotional service, they don't mind. They'll go wherever. They can go to the spiritual world. But if it is just mukti, that's why 5 types of mukti doesn't mean you're getting service. No. You'll get opulences and you'll get beauty and all that, wealth, happiness, eternal life, all that will be there. But even you can get proximity, samipya, liberation. You'll be nearby to the Lord. But that doesn't mean you're actually an associate of the Lord, serving the Lord. That's also possible. That's why all different, whatever you can think of, all possibilities are there in the Vedas. You cannot rule out anything. Like anyone can come up in their mind, desire, any type of desire. That's why Buddhist philosophy is also there. Right? Someone who wants to go into void, which is not Brahman realization, but it is void. You just remain in void. So that facility is also there. Everything is there. But what is the highest? That is the point here. Mahāprabhu is saying 5 types of liberation devotees don't accept. So first Mahāprabhu rejected karma gyan. And then he said 5 types, and by doing that karma and offering it to the Lord, you get 5 types of liberation. Devotees are not interested. They think it's insignificant. They even consider it hellish. Then Mahaprabhu once again quotes from Shastra what devotees think of the 5 types of liberation. So pure devotees, they reject these 5 types of liberation. Right? And then what those 5 types are said. So they don't want. Then Mahaprabhu quoted another verse, that how it is very difficult to give up attachment to one's wealth, family, children, and assets. These things are desired even by great demigods. Yet, Bharat Maharaj did not desire these things, because he's a pure devotee and his mind was always engaged in the service of the Lord. So, what to speak of these things? He considered even liberation to be insignificant. Then how can we, expect him to be attached to these things, which are much lower, insignificant? He didn't care for liberation then, but these things are so attractive. Even demigods cannot give up these attachments. But a pure devotee, for him, this is very, very insignificant. He doesn't care for any of these things. And what to speak of these, he doesn't even care for liberation. So this verse was quoted by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu to show that devotees don't care for liberation. The previous verse is saying what are the 5 types of liberation and how devotees don't accept liberation, 5 types of liberation, if there is no seva. If there is no seva, if there is no devotional service in a relationship with the Lord, devotees reject these 5 types of liberation. So that verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 29th verse. Lord Kapil Dev's instructions to Mother Devotee. So 5 types of liberation are rejected by pure devotees. Then the next one is from the 5th canto, 14th chapter, text 4. This is about Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj considered liberation to be insignificant. So next we will continue. What is the next verse? Quoted by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So all these are being quoted to show that these 5 types of liberation are not attractive to devotees. They reject them. First, Mahaprabhu makes the statement, and then he is same. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also in the same, style. First, he will make a statement, and then he will substantiate it with quotes from Shastra. So all these quotes are to show that devotees don't accept liberation, 5 types of liberation. So next verse. nārāyaṇa-parāḥ sarve na kutaścana bibhyati svargāpavarga-narakeṣv api tulyārtha-darśinaḥ. A person who is a devotee of Lord Nārāyaṇa is not afraid of a hellish condition because he considers it the same as the elevation to the heavenly planets or liberation. The devotees of Lord Nārāyaṇa are accustomed to seeing all these things on the same level. It's like, about Jnanis we read, they have this nirbheda jnanam. They don't see any difference between gold or stone, something which is comfortable or something which is uncomfortable. Materially, anything, whether it is pleasing or displeasing, for them it is all the same. They do that by practice. They do that by practice, and it's very, very difficult. Krishna says it's very difficult. Kleshodhikataras tesham avyaktasakta chetasam. Right? To fix your mind on Brahman who has no features. It's the most difficult thing because we have a body, we have senses, mind. For us, embodied beings, to meditate on the unembodied, it's very, very difficult. But that is their practice. But when you come to bhakti, it's very simple. All you have to do is, you have to simply focus on the beautiful transcendental form, name, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna. By doing that, you will automatically get that, you'll come to that stage of not seeing any difference between good or bad in this world. What is pleasing and what is displeasing, it comes. So this is a much easier path. and it's the highest, it gives the highest destination. So this verse is saying that the devotees of Lord Narayan, they're not afraid of hellish condition, because they see hell and heaven and even liberation on the same platform. You may wonder why liberation is compared to hell and heaven, isn't it? Hell and heaven are in the material world. Liberation is beyond the material world. So you may think liberation is transcendental. Why hell, heaven, and liberation all are compared on the, said that there's no difference? Because how do you get hell and heaven, Huh? By what you do, of course, by what you do. So when you do sinful activities, you go to hell. If you do pious activities, you go to heaven. But sinful activities, pious activities are done under whose influence? Who is influencing you to do activities, whether sinful activities or pious activities? We were reading, Mataji, you're saying something?
Modes of material nature.
Exactly. Modes of material nature. Remember, we read in Bhagavad Gita, what is the quality of Rajoguna? Rajoguna means there's hankering for results. Therefore, you are addicted to work. So you're doing work. You'll be doing pious activity, whatever activity, but you'll be working. So Rajoguna. And then Tamoguna means, you will be inactive. So Rajoguna, you can do both. You can do pious activities or you can do impious activities. Both are possible. And how one gets liberation is, of course, ultimate liberation you'll get by doing bhakti. But how do you even transcend this material conception that I am this body? By coming to mode of goodness. Mode of goodness is also, after all, material. That's why. So whether it's goodness, passion, or ignorance, this is because of modes. That is why even liberation is not counted as transcendental. But bhakti is transcendental. Bhakti is not done under the influence of the mode of goodness. Mode of goodness is helpful to enter into bhakti, but it's not that bhakti is being done in the mode of goodness. No. But for jnana, it's vidya. Vidya means mode of goodness. You need more and more goodness. That's why you do all those jnana sadhanas. That's why. Okay. So, devotees, the devotees of Lord Narayan see, I'll just read it. A person who is a devotee of Lord Narayan is not afraid of a hellish condition because he considers it the same as elevation to the heavenly planets or liberation. The devotees of Lord Narayan are accustomed to seeing all these things on the same level. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 17th chapter, text 28, regarding the personality Chitraketu. So in the 6th canto, we read about Vritrasura. And then Chitraketu. No, there is no link as such. Okay. But there is actually a link. So the link is that Narayana Kavacha. Anyway, I'll have to refer to that again. But this is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 6:17-28 regarding the personality Chitraketu. Once when Chitraketu saw the goddess Parvati sitting on the lap of Lord Shambhu Shiva, he criticized Lord Shiva for being shameless and sitting just like an ordinary man with his wife on his lap. For this reason, Chitraketu was cursed by Parvati. Later, he became a demon named Vritrasura. Acha, ye hai link. Okay. For this reason, Chitraketu was cursed by Parvati. Later, he became a demon named Vritrasura. Chitraketu was a very powerful king and a devotee, and he could certainly retaliate even against Lord Shiva. But when Parvati cursed him, he immediately accepted the curse with a bowed head. When he agreed to accept this curse, Lord Shiva praised him and told Parvati that a devotee of Lord Narayan is never afraid of accepting any position, provided there is a chance to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the purport of nārāyaṇa-parāḥ sarve na kutaścana bibhyati. बिल्कुल नहीं डरते हैं, न कुतश्चन, कभी भी, बिभ्यति, न कुतश्चन बिभ्यति, कभी भी नहीं डरते हैं. कौन? Nārāyaṇa-parāḥ. Those who are Nārāyaṇa-parāḥ means, absorbed in Narayana, the devotees of Lord Nārāyaṇa. Sarve, all the devotees of Lord Nārāyaṇa, they never, under any circumstances, are afraid of anything. They're not even afraid of going to hell, provided they get an opportunity to serve the Lord. So, Chitraketu Maharaj, the story is like this. Chitraketu Maharaj was a king and he had many, many wives, but he had no sons, no children. And he was very sad because, first of all, he's a king. I mean, even as a human being, as a grihastha, it is your debt to give a child. So the family lineage will continue. That's there. And in addition to being a grihastha, he was a king. As a king, he has to give the next heir, the next king. So he was very sad. And then once Narad Muni and Angira Rishi, I think, come to Chitraketu Maharaj, and then, they give him good instructions. And then he prays to them that he wants a son. And then they bless him. And they say that his name is going to be Harsha Shoka. But he didn't realize what that meant. Harsha Shoka, because that the birth of that child will give him great pleasure, but also great pain, shoka, suffering. So I forget how many wives he had, like 1,000 wives or something. So the senior most, the principal wife, becomes pregnant and she gives birth to a child. And the king, after all these years not having any son, when he got a son, he was so happy. He would be spending all the time with this queen because she had the child. So he would be with the child all the time. So this caused the other wives, the co-wives, to become jealous. And they felt that this queen is getting all this attention because she had a child. So they thought if they kill the child, then the king will also give attention to them. So they actually poisoned the baby and he died. And then when the king found out, first of all, the queen found out, and then the king found out, and they were beside themselves in sorrow. That's why Harsha Shoka. So then, once again, the sages came and brought the child back to life. But the child, that means the spirit soul in the dead son's body, came and spoke some instructions that, my time in this body was only for so much time. There's no father, mother. We are spirit souls. We just keep journeying, traveling from one body to another. While we are in this body, we think we are, this is my father and mother. And then we go on to another body and someone else becomes our father and mother. Who is really our father and mother? Our only father is the Supreme Lord. Or our only, master is the Supreme Lord. Everyone else is like, coming and going. But while we are there, we just become attached like that. So giving those instructions, the boy once again enters that living entity, So the boy had come back to life. And once again, he lays back and then he's gone. Similar to Srivas Thakur's son. Caitanya Mahāprabhu brought him back to life. Same, like that only. So after hearing this, now this king, Chitraketu Maharaj, becomes, enlivened by that instruction. And now he prays to I think Narad Muni is the one who gave him that mantra to chant. And he chants that mantra and he perfects it. And by that, after this life, he goes to Vidyadhara Loka and he becomes the king there. So heavenly planets. So we still call him Chitraketu Maharaj only, but he's in the heavenly planets now, in the Vidyadhara Loka. So he has all these opulences and everything. And one day he's going in his airplane, and he's a pure devotee, by the way. Remember, by chanting those mantras and all that, he's a devotee, great devotee of the Lord. So when he passed by Kailash, and there he saw Lord Shiva in front of all these sages, and he's instructing. He's like, there's like he's giving a class or something. And Parvati Devi was sitting on his lap. Chitraketu Maharaj just, I think he laughed. But again, his intention was that how exalted is Lord Shiva that only he can do this. Completely, he had his wife sitting on his lap and he's speaking, and everybody, without any distraction, everybody is listening to him attentively. That was his intention. But externally, so basically what he said was, he just laughed and said, just see Lord Shiva, how he's sitting like an ordinary person with his wife on his lap, like that. But the meaning behind that was he was actually glorifying Lord Shiva. That's how we read in the purport. So, but Parvati Devi became offended that how he's, being, what do you say, being intoxicated by his opulence. He's commenting about Lord Shiva. So immediately she cursed him that you don't deserve to be a demigod. You'll become an asura. And when she cursed him, he didn't, fall down and say, please, please save me, don't curse me, like that. Like what we would normally expect, like going in a shock. What happened? All of a sudden from heaven you go to, becoming an asura. From a demigod you go to becoming an asura. But he said, he bowed down, and he said, yes, my dear mother, I accept your punishment. And he also gives an explanation, that why he said that. He didn't mean asking for forgiveness, but he didn't say, please relieve me from this curse or anything. He didn't say that. He accepted it. That's the whole point here. And seeing how he took that curse, Parvati Devi was very angry. Angrily she cursed. And he came down from his airplane, he bowed down and he accepted the curse. Then Lord Shiva, seeing this, he glorified the devotees of Lord Nārāyaṇa. Just look at them, how they are. So if we are devotees of the Lord, how much is expected from us? Yeah. So Lord Shiva really glorified Chitraketu Maharaj. And then he immediately, became Asura. And it continues after that, how he actually. So that's not the story here. Vritrasura appears as the son of Tvashta. That's a whole long story, another time maybe, because now we have to read Caitanya Leela. But what is the point here? That devotees, they're not shocked or they're not afraid of going to hell. That's the point. You'll become an asura is said, they don't mind. They're not fearful of going to hell even. That's a pure devotee. So Mahaprabhu is saying devotees don't accept mukti. They don't accept liberation. If there is no seva, they don't accept. And they see mukti as hellish also. So that's why all these verses were quoted. 5 types of liberation. Devotees don't accept if there's no seva. Then the next one was that Bharat Maharaj, he didn't care for liberation. And what to speak of all other material opulence, family, wife, children. He left everything. Again, because he's a pure devotee. And these things are difficult even for the demigods to give up. But Bharat Maharaj didn't care for them. Because he got, full faith in the Lord. And then the third one is about Chitraketu Maharaj. How nārāyaṇa-parāḥ sarve na kutaścana bibhyati. nārāyaṇa-parāḥ sarve na kutaścana bibhyati. The devotees of Lord Nārāyaṇa are never fearful under any circumstances. They are not fearful of going to hell or heaven. And even liberation. They see them all equally. So that's why this example was given, to show that for the devotees, whether it is being an asura or a demigod, it is all the same. That means, and even, so in the same hell, heaven, mukti is also counted. That's why this verse is quoted. Mukti also is said in the same terms. Whether going to hell, heaven, or getting liberation, it is all the same. For a devotee, they don't give any importance to that. Mukti karma dui vastu tyaje bhakta-gaṇa sei dui sthāpa tumi sādhya sādhana. So what is it that Mahāprabhu is finally saying? The devotees tyaje, renounce, mukti and karma. Sarvadharman parityaja is said. That means devotees give up karma. They don't dwell in karma. They give up karma. They do 20. Once they get Dridha Shraddha, now they will do 24 hours only direct devotional service. They give up karma. And when you and mukti also, when you say pure, same Dridha Shraddha, when you get Dridha Shraddha, you don't aspire for mukti also. Moksha Laghutakrit is later. At that time, you actually realize, but conviction you get in the beginning itself. When you get Dridha Shraddha, you are convinced. Anya abhilashita shunyam means what? Anya abhilashita means there is no other desire. You don't desire liberation also. You don't desire. That is pure devotional service. You don't desire. You will desire devotional service. Wherever you get devotional service, you are happy to go there. No conditions. I will do service only if I go back to Godhead. No such conditions. You can send me anywhere, and that also not a condition. It's a prayer. I want to be engaged in your devotional service. That's our desire, to be engaged in the Lord's service. Karma, no. You give up karma. Mukti also, same time. Your desire for mukti and your desire for karma. Okay. Karma, physically, actually you give up there itself, Dridha Shraddha stage. And even if you're doing some karma externally to set example, that is not karma. You don't count it as karma at all. Because you have no faith in that and it is not binding you. So that is not karma. You're just doing it. It's like dummy. To set example to others you're doing. It's not karma at all, even if you do. After you get Dridha Shraddha. So karma you have given up. At the time of Dridha Shraddha, you give up karma. Mukti, the desire for mukti, you are giving up there. But actual mukti you give up when you come to moksha laghutakrit. That means moksha is there for you at that time. Moksha, you have moksha there. Liberation, you are liberated. But you just, you don't even care for it. Because your goal is even higher. So you give up mukti also. So karma is given up, mukti is also given up. Dui vastu tyaje bhakta-gaṇa. Both these are renounced by devotees. Karma and mukti both are renounced by the devotees. And sei dui sthāpa tumi sādhya sādhana. And those two only you are establishing as the sādhana and the sādhya. So you see another thing. Karma is sādhana. Mukti is sādhya. Mukti is the goal. Karma is the practice, isn't it? So what did that leader of Tattvavadi philosophers say? For the devotees, the best sadhana is doing karma, varnashrama dharma, and the highest goal is getting 5 types of mukti. So mukti is goal, karma is sadhana. Devotees renounce both. They renounce karma and they renounce mukti also. Desire is anyway given up in the beginning itself. They don't have a desire, but even when they actually get it finally, they reject it. We don't want mukti. When it is offered to them, they reject. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. You have, it's not like I don't have it now and I'm saying, I give up the position of the president of America. You don't have it in your hand yet, isn't it? I don't want, you can say. But after it is given to you and you say you reject it. Like that. So they reject mukti. That, like, even when you come to the stage where mukti is in your hands, they just reject it. Moksha lagutakrit. That's what it is. Moksha is at their feet now, but they reject it. They don't want. So devotees are rejecting karma and they're also rejecting mukti. And those two you are establishing as the sadhana and the sādhya for devotees. He's saying this is for Krishna devotees. He established that. The TATTVAVADI Acharya. So Mahaprabhu is saying how you are establishing that. And that's why quoting all these verses from Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is the highest Chakravarti Pramana, Emperor Pramana. And Bhagavad Gita also, Mahaprabhu quoted. From that, Mahaprabhu established that devotees don't care for liberation. And the best sadhana is Shravanam Kirtanam. And karma is condemned. All these Mahaprabhu established. So now he is asking, both liberation and karma, mukti and karma are rejected by devotees. How you are establishing these two as the goal and the means for attaining it? Sannyasi dekhiya more karaho vanchana. Again, remember, Mahaprabhu's mood is always very, very humble, His presentation is very firm. Like you see, like it's very sharp. That means there is no scope for, like mincing words, like, no, maybe it's like this. No. Very clear, very sharp, cutting. The way he establishes philosophy. Thoroughly, from quoting from the Shastras, completely defeating the other person. However, personally, he is very, very humble. But personally, he is very, very humble. The other day we were discussing about that. In every case, he always puts himself in a humble position. So here, see, after thoroughly establishing, after quoting from all Shastra and everything, Mahaprabhu is saying to the Acharya, he has defeated completely whatever he has said. That Tattvavadi Acharya said he defeated. Even the previous verse that we read, that devotees have renounced karma and mukti, then how you are establishing them as the sadhana and sādhya? And now he's saying, see, sannyasi dekhiya more koroho vanchan. Seeing that I'm a mendicant, I'm a sannyasi, you're cheating me, he's saying, Mahaprabhu. You're cheating me, like you're hiding the truth from me. That means you know what is the highest truth. You know that prema is the highest truth, highest goal, and you know that Shravanam Kirtanam is the best sadhana, but still you are saying that karma is the best sadhana, karmarpanam is the best sadhana, and mukti is the highest goal. Like that you are telling me because you want to cheat me? Seeing that I'm a mendicant, I'm a sannyasi, you want to cheat me? Na kohila teni sādhya sādhana lakshana. Seeing that I'm a sannyasi, you did not describe the truth, the symptoms of sādhya sādhana. That means you didn't reveal to me the definition of sādhya sādhana. Lakshana means characteristics. Because you wanted to cheat me. Seeing that I'm a sannyasi, you didn't want to tell me the truth. Like that. Sannyasi dekhiya more koroho vanchan. Seeing that I'm a sannyasi, you wanted to cheat me. Na kohila teni sādhya sādhana lakshan. Therefore, you didn't tell me the characteristics. That means the truth about what is the best sadhana and what is the highest goal. Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu continued speaking to the Tattvavadi Acharya, seeing that I am a mendicant in the renounced order of life, you have been playing with me in a duplicitous way. You're tricking me. You have not actually described the process and ultimate objective. That means it happens, right? Sometimes you don't want to give. Somebody comes to ask you for something and like maybe your secret recipe or something, and you don't want to share it with others. Not that we do that, but I'm just saying you may have experienced it sometimes, like they don't share it. You ask for that, it's a very famous recipe and they just give something else, because it's just their trademark, something like that. So like that. So you're hiding the truth from me, seeing that I'm just a mendicant sannyasi. So you are cheating me by not revealing the truth to me about sadhana and sādhya. You're just telling me something which is subordinate. You're not telling me about the ultimate sadhana and ultimate sādhya. You're giving me something which is subordinate. Like that Mahāprabhu is saying to the Tattvavadi Acharya. Yeah, seeing that I'm a mendicant in the renounced order of life, you have been playing with me in a duplicitous way. You have not actually described the process and ultimate objective. Now we will see how this Tattvavadi Acharya, how he will respond. Sannyasi dekhiya more karaho vanchan. Vanchana means to cheat. Na kohila teni sādhya sādhana lakshan. It's like also it can also be like a plea, that आप क्यों मुझे नहीं बता रहे हैं? You see that I'm not qualified, that's why you're not telling me, like that. ऐसा भी ले सकते हैं. So but this is how Mahaprabhu said, you know everything, but you're not telling me. You're hiding it from me. Like that. Shuni tattvacharya hoila antare lajjita. So he felt ashamed. Tattvacharya, see, they are Vaishnavas, worshipping Udupi Krishna, coming in the line of Srila Madhvacharya. And he is the leader. He knows all the scriptures. But also there's one point here. I think we discussed in the past, but here it is relevant, so we must mention it certainly. Even if you read all the Shastras, the conclusion of Shastra, what conclusion you take from the Shastra depends on what type of association and mercy in that association you receive. Somebody may have gotten the association of a Mayavadi person, and when he reads the Shastra, he will only get the conclusion of Mayavad philosophy from that Shastra. He will not get the conclusion of surrender to the Supreme Lord, or the highest goal is Krishna Prema. That conclusion he will not get. We read Bhagavad Gita, which is considered to be the basic book, basic Shastra in Bhakti. Bhagavad Gita is preliminary. But in Bhagavad Gita itself, we get the conclusion. Surrender to Krishna. And what should you do after surrendering? Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyajima. Directly from the shloka itself. Not that by giving the commentary or giving some other, you're deriving something from the shloka. Not like that. The verse itself is saying, that is the last statement Krishna is saying. Manmana bhava madbhakto, become my devotee, think about me. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, offer obeisances to me. Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam raja. Surrender unto me. Giving up all your other dharmas, karmas, everything. Simply surrender unto me. Direct statement. Get dhrida shraddha. And you do direct devotional service to me. That's all. That's the final lesson in Bhagavad Gita. Still, so many people read and they get so many different. Some people think by reading Bhagavad Gita, I can improve my business. Someone else says how I can improve my family relationships by reading Bhagavad Gita. Like that. These are all, that's not the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. But unfortunately, sometimes in the dress of devotees, they teach that Bhagavad Gita as it is teaching us how to improve our material situation in this world, how to do well in your work, how to do well in your school, and how to improve your relationships and family and all that by studying Bhagavad Gita. Your life will become peaceful and all that. That's not the purpose. The purpose is what Krishna is saying. Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam raja, and then manmana bhava madbhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. That one. That is the goal. That is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. That's where we should come. That's the conclusion we should get. After reading, studying whole Bhagavad Gita, the conclusion should be I should surrender to Krishna, give everything, all my energy in Krishna's service. Because Jivera Swarupa Krishnera Nityadas. That's the conclusion. But why everyone is not getting this? That is the point. So many people are reading Bhagavad Gita, but not everyone is getting this conclusion. Who will get this conclusion? Only one who got the association of a pure devotee and the mercy of a pure devotee can get this conclusion. And if somebody gets the association of a mixed devotee, he will get the conclusion of you do karma and then you offer it to the Lord. Pradhani Bhuta Bhakta. Karma Mishra Bhakta means Pradhani Bhuta, where they're doing bhakti, but they take help of karma. So, like in Daiva, we have Daiva Varnashrama Dharma. Next to that, we also have regular Varnashrama. So, they take karma also. They accept doing Varnashrama Dharma also as devotional service. It is, if you're doing it as an order of the Lord, but it is not pure devotional service. That is called Aropa Siddha. Aropa matlab, you're designating it. आरोप कर रहे हैं उसको, भक्ति करके आरोप कर रहे हैं. सच में वो कर्म है, but you are giving the label of bhakti to it. And yes, it is bhakti, but it is a certain type of bhakti called Aropa Siddha Bhakti. It is Aropa Siddha Bhakti. 1 second. Yes. It is Aropa Siddha Bhakti. Doing karma. So if you get that type of devotees association and you read Bhagavad Gita, then you will also come to the same conclusion that, oh, the best sadhana is to do our dharma, varnashrama dharma, and offer it to Krishna. And that's the best sadhana. And similarly, what is the goal? Depends on what type of association you get. Even after reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, your conclusion will be getting liberation, moksha. You may have seen in some old movies, finally, sometimes they show devotional movies also. They see that the devotee, after giving up the body, is entering into the body of the Lord. And but what is happening after that, it's not said. So people may understand that they just go and merge into the Lord's body. If they're entering into Vaikuntha to render devotional service, that's a different thing. But if you're just getting mukti, even you can go into Vaikuntha, but getting mukti in Vaikuntha and not engaged in devotional service, that's not pure devotional service. That's not the desirable goal. So the point here is they are worshipping Krishna. Tattvavadi devotees coming in the line of Madhvacharya are worshipping Krishna. And he is the Acharya. He knows all the scriptures. Yet, he said the goal is karmarpanam. I mean, goal is mukti, 5 types of mukti. And the sadhana is karmarpanam. So when Mahāprabhu said that, why you are cheating me? you're hiding the truth from me. Devotees actually reject mukti and also karma. And you are telling me that those are only the sadhana for a devotee. Why you're cheating me like that? So when this Tattvavadi Acharya heard that, Shuni Tattvacharya, Hoila Antare Lajjita, he felt ashamed. Yes. He felt ashamed. Prabhura Vaishnavata Dekhi, Hoila Vismita. He became also wonderstruck by the exalted position in devotional service of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Matlab, he's amazed at the elevated state of bhakti of Mahaprabhu. Because he is thinking the goal is getting liberation, 5 types of liberation. But when he heard Mahaprabhu showing that actually the goal is getting love of Godhead, this is also the power of association. It's like it awakens in you. You remember that Ramdas Vipra, who was always chanting. No, Ramdas Vipra is another devotee who's the most recent that we read. Ramdas Vipra is the person to whom Mahaprabhu took Kurma Puran. Yes, but not that. Before that devotee who was always chanting the names of Lord Ram, and when he heard the name of Krishna from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lips, his lifelong practice of chanting Lord Ram's name has changed as he gave up that lifelong practice and he started chanting Krishna's name. He knew, he read Shastra, because his hobby was always collecting glories of verses which glorify the holy name. He would collect these verses. So he knew that one name of Krishna equals 3 names of Lord Ramchandra. Once you say Krishna, then that is equivalent to chanting Ram's name 3 times. And once you chant the name of Ram, it is equivalent to chanting Lord Vishnu's name 1,000 times. He knew that. Still he is attached to chanting Ram's name only. He knows that Krishna's name is superior, but he is only chanting Ram's name all his life. When did he actually take to Krishna's name? When he got the association, and in that association, mercy of a Krishna devotee. Similarly, this Tattvacharya, Tattvavadi Acharya, said Tattvacharya, he knew all the scriptures. He knew, that means he read. But when will you actually believe it? You will only believe up to that point, so how to put it in words? The person who's giving you mercy, the level to which he is, the level at which he is, only to that level you will get faith. Even though you read higher topics, you will read, you may understand, but you won't believe it. You won't believe it. You won't accept it. Believe means you won't accept it. It will just go above your head. It won't stay in your heart. But when you get mercy of the person who's giving that knowledge to you, or just even they may or may not give that knowledge to you, but also giving knowledge. If it's Shravan Guru, then yes, they give knowledge also. But by that mercy, that knowledge actually takes root in your heart. You accept it and it takes root in your heart. So really it is the game of mercy here. When you get mercy of a devotee, then the level at which that devotee is, and also how much mercy that devotee gives. It's not that the devotee will give same amount of mercy. One guru, it's not necessary, will give same amount of mercy to all disciples. He may give more mercy to one disciple and not so much to another disciple, and you cannot question why. He's free to do that. He may have whatever his, he can just give for no reason. Nobody can question him. And that's why one disciple is able to retain, he's able to accept, and the other disciple is still struggling with so many doubts and questions. That's also possible. So it is the mercy that we see in Prahlad Maharaj's case also, coming up day after tomorrow. Narad Muni's instructions, Prahlad Maharaj's mother Kayadu heard. And from within the womb, Prahlad Maharaj heard. But what kind of Shraddha Prahlad Maharaj got? And his mother forgot. What is the reason? The reason is the mercy of Narad Muni. That means they say, phalena parichiyate. From the fruit, you can understand what is the nature of the tree, what tree it is. Like that, from the result, what is the result? What type of devotee Prahlad Maharaj is? What type of faith he has in the Lord? What type of devotion he has compared to his mother? Although both got the same association and same instruction, one person is so firmly fixed and the other person forgot. Why? What is the reason? You can understand Narad Muni gave more mercy to Prahlad Maharaj. Of course, in some cases, there are other reasons. Even though the Guru gives same amount of mercy, if the disciple has a lot of anarthas, especially offenses, then in spite of receiving that mercy, he is not able to become fixed in devotional service because of severe offenses. That means he will need additional mercy, extra mercy, more than what he got. He needs extra. So like this, there are... so here the point is, Shuni Tattvacharya hoila antare lajjita, Prabhura Vaishnavata dekhi hoila vismita. He was wonderstruck because it appears that for the first time, he's coming in contact with somebody who's so advanced in bhakti. So that is why there is hierarchy in bhakti. Depending on the deity that you're worshipping. Somebody who is worshipping Lord Nārāyaṇa, somebody is worshipping Lord Ramchandra, somebody is worshipping Krishna. In Dwaraka, someone is worshipping Krishna in Vrindavan. And also within Vrindavan, someone is worshipping Krishna as a master in Dasya relationship. Someone is treating Krishna like his friend. Someone is treating Krishna like a child. Someone is treating Krishna like his lover. So there is a hierarchy. And the amount of love is also the quality of love. The intensity, quality varies depending on the form that you're worshipping and the relationship in which you're worshipping. It's not that they're all the same. No. So in quality, the highest is worshipping Krishna in Madhurya Rasa, conjugal relationship. That's the topmost. And in that also, again, there are different devotees. So the topmost devotee is Srimati Radharani. She's the ultimate. There's nobody beyond that. She's the highest. So this Tattvacharya, he didn't come. So now also we can, by this analysis, we can also understand he's worshipping Krishna as a child. And here is Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu, who is Srimati Radharani in the topmost. So certainly he is coming in contact with the supreme devotee, a much higher devotee. So he's wonderstruck seeing this type of Vaishnavata. Hoilo antare lajjita, he felt ashamed. Why? He gave false information. May not be that he intentionally gave it. Apparently that's what he believed in, that this is the highest. You do karma and you offer it, and by doing that, you go to Vaikuntha getting liberation. That's the highest. He was under that impression until then, even though he read the Shastras. That's why I was saying, even if you study all the Shastras, you don't catch those points. You just, even when we read Prabhupada's purports also, there are different levels of reading. When we read, we just read, like, and then so many subtle points inside, they don't even strike. But then after you hear from another teacher, with these philosophical points, now when you go back and read, and now you're like, Hari, how I missed this one, how I missed that point, like that, you will see. Why I'm able to see it now and why I didn't see it before? Because I got that mercy. There's no other explanation. There's no other explanation. Now I got that mercy from a devotee, and therefore now when I read, I'm able to see those points. Previously, because I didn't get that mercy, I was not able to see those points. So this Tattvacharya, he told Mahaprabhu that the goal of life is getting mukti. The best means is doing karma and offering it. And when Mahaprabhu showed him, no, it's not like this. Prema is the highest goal. And devotees don't care for your mukti. When he heard that, he was amazed. Oh, there is higher things also. And seeing the exalted bhakti of Mahaprabhu, he was vismita hoila. He was amazed, wonderstruck. And he felt ashamed that he gave that answer. After hearing Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, the Acharya of the Tattvavada Sampradaya became very much ashamed. Upon observing Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's rigid faith in Vaishnavism, he was struck with wonder. And imagine, they were thinking that he's a Mayavadi and they wouldn't even talk to him when he first came. But yeah. Acharya kohe tumi jai kaho sei satya hoy. So now he got that understanding, that realization. Whatever you said, that is true. He accepted. Sarva Shastre Vaishnavera ei sunishchay. So all the Bhakti Shastras, the Shastras that are studied by Vaishnavas, they determine, they conclude in this only. Whatever you said, that is the conclusion. Whatever you said, that is true. And all the Shastras read by the devotees of Lord Vishnu conclude in this, what you said. That means the highest goal is love. The Tattvavadi Acharya replied, what you have said is certainly factual. It is the conclusion of all the revealed scriptures of the Vaishnavas. Tathapi Madhvacharya je koryache nirbandha sei acharye sabe sampradaya sambandha. But we are bound, he's saying. Tathapi means even though whatever you said is true and is the conclusion of all Vaishnava Shastras, still, because Madhvacharya has given us some regulations, some rules and regulations. Whatever rules and regulations are given by Madhvacharya, say Acharye Sabe Sampradaya Sambandha. We only follow those regulations within this Sampradaya. That means these are the regulations given for the Sampradaya of Madhvacharya. That means they are the Tattvavadi line. So whatever regulation, that means from Madhvacharya, we understand that for devotees of Krishna, following Varnashrama Dharma and offering the result to the Lord is the sadhana. So we follow the regulations given by Madhvacharya. Even though I accept that, not that I accept, he felt ashamed. He said, whatever you said is actually the goal. It is the conclusion of all Vaishnava Shastras. Still, because our founder Acharya, Sri Madhvacharya, has set some regulations for us, we only follow that. As far as the organization is concerned, our Sampradaya rules, we will follow that. Still, whatever Madhvacharya has established as the formula for our party, we practice as a party policy. Right? Overall, that's what we will follow. Prabhu ko hai karmi gyani dui bhakti hina tomara sampradaya dekhi sei dui chinna. Mahaprabhu is not leaving still. Tattvavadi Acharya said that we will follow, the policies which are, the regulations which are given by Madhvacharya. That's what we will follow, even though what you say is true. So what did Mahaprabhu say? Karmi jnani dui bhakti hina. So you proposed karma and jnana. That means the goal of jnana is mukti. So you proposed karma and jnana as the sadhana and sādhya, but both of them are bereft of bhakti. Here bhakti means Shuddha bhakti. They also have little bhakti, because without bhakti they won't get result. But that type of bhakti is called guni bhuta bhakti. That means they're using bhakti as a tool to get the result, making bhakti a servant. That's actually an offense. That's why Mahaprabhu is saying, karmi jnani, those who are karmis and who are jnanis, bhakti hina, they don't have bhakti. What they do, you cannot call it bhakti, because they are using it as a tool to get their result. Using like a servant. So karmi jnani bhakti hina, they don't have bhakti. Tomara sampradaya dekhi sei dui chinna. And you are calling yourself bhaktas, devotees. And you're in your sampradaya, I am seeing the symptoms of both karmi and jnani who are bereft of bhakti. Even though you're calling yourself a bhakta, because you are Vaishnavas worshipping the Lord, you're devotees supposedly, but I see the characteristics of karmis and jnanis who are bereft of bhakti. Prabhu kahe karmi jnani dui bhakti hina tomara sampradaya, because he said our sampradaya, we have our policies, our regulations, we have to follow those regulations of our sampradaya. Mahaprabhu said, in your sampradaya, I am seeing the characteristics of karmi and jnani who are bereft of bhakti. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu said both the fruitive worker and speculative philosopher. Fruitive worker means karmi, speculative philosopher means jnani. So you remember our transcendental diagram for that. Karmi jnani are considered non-devotees. Yes, they are not called devotees. We see both elements present in your sampradaya. Okay, maybe I should stop here. It's just interesting and I feel like going on and on, but it's late. I'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. Further, what happened in this discussion. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda jai.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.